I assume everybody's seeing my screen okay. Give me a thumbs up in your camera there. Perfect. All right, so welcome to our Executive Advisory Board meeting for December 2nd. Last one of this year. Wonderful 2020 as everybody's experienced so far. Hopefully in the new year, everything will be a little bit better, and we'll see how that goes. But want to run through some of the stuff of where we are and what we've been doing. Our agenda, we're basically going to run through some of the various programs, give some news for people, make sure everybody's on the same page. We'll go through an open session as well. I'm actually doing the call to order. I don't know why I put down Scott here, but that's fine. So we're going to go ahead and start. Introduction. So really briefly, for those who are on the call, that Jim may not know, as well as people who watch this later, I'm just going to call people's names. If you just want to give your name and title and what you do really quickly, and then we'll go through. So Brad, do you want to introduce yourself real quick? Obviously, you'll be doing stuff later as well.
Sure. My name is Brad Waller, and I am honored to have a visiting scholar in residency at the Virginia Serious Game Institute. And everyone that I have met, I honor and admire. So I've had a wonderful time, and I look forward to sharing my presentation materials.
Excellent.
And I thank you.
Oh, looking forward. I'm sure everybody will enjoy it. Jacob, you want to quickly give everybody what you do?
Yes, sure. Hi, I am at VSGI and I teach at GMU also in the game design program. But I do research, and this semester I've been doing proposals writing, and in the past I've done some curriculum development and worked within GTA. So that's the quick overview for me. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you, Jacob. Mr. Jim Gatto, you want to introduce yourself to the folks on here who you may or may not know?
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Jim Gatto. I'm a partner in the law firm of Shepherd Mullen. I do a lot of intellectual property and technology related work, and I head up the games practice, and been happy to work with VSGI and this great team for a number of years now.
Yep, been a great supporter. Thank you, Jim. Josiah.
I'm Josiah Leibowitz. I teach at GMU, game writing, game history, and some game design.
Thank you. Let's see, Mr. Piccioni.
Hi, Eric Piccioni. I'm Associate Director of the Game Design Program.
Excellent, excellent. Riza.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Riza Villacorte, Client Services Coordinator here at the VSGI.
Don't you have a new title coming soon?
I do. As of January 10th, I am taking over as the Administrative Assistant of Finance and Operations here at the VSGI.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Awesome. Let's see, Mr. Nam Sang.
Hi, my name is Sang Nam, Director of Computer Game Design Program.
Excellent. I think we all know who Scott Martin is. He's not wearing his hat. I think his thing was off there for a minute. Do you want to say hi, Scott? I'm not seeing the mic come off.
Hi, Scott.
Hey, perfect. There you go. I like that background. Very nice. Very nice. Thank you. Stephanie, the real Stephanie.
Hello, I'm Stephanie Kane, and I am the Research Coordinator for the VSGI.
Excellent. Then the other Stephanie, which is actually Michael Thompson.
Hi, all. I'm Michael, the IT Specialist.
Excellent. And then we've got, I think, Ying Ying.
Hi.
Hello.
This is Ying Ying. Good morning, and thank you for inviting me to the MOOC meeting. And you all know I'm an instructional designer and learning analyst from Stern Center. And
excellent.
And I really appreciate I can learn more about game design and the research oriented. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay. Well, with that introductions out of the way, we're actually going to turn it over to Sang Nam. He's going to talk a little bit about the game design program, give everybody an update of where we are. If you need me to turn the page or slide, just let me know, Sang.
All righty. Okay, good morning, everyone. Again, my name is Sang Nam. I'm the director of computer game design program, like academic program, and we offer degrees, BFA and MA. And what you're looking at is our enrollment by credit hours, meaning we basically calculate the classes we offer, and then we look at the number in terms of credit hours that consumed by our students. And one thing I want to point out is from fall 15 to fall 20, we made this growth. And then fall 21, 22, 23, we are projecting like 3 to 5% growth. So that's our plan about enrollment. We have seen strong growth, and we continue to produce. We are planning to produce that growth for the next 3 years. And next slide, please. And some faculty and student highlights. And recently, Professors Greg Grimsby, Eric Pisciani, and Matthew Strangio, along with computer game design major students Nathan Garner, Connor Stun, and Casey Davis and Kimia Jedigan, presented their game art and illustration at Gwangju International Ace Illustration Fair 2020. So the exhibition was held at this Kim Dae-jung Convention Center in Gwangju, Korea, from November 5th to November 8th. And then because of its like a good feedback, and they actually got another exhibition opportunity at some different cities in Korea. So their work will be exhibited at Daegu French Cultural Center from December 14th to January 14th next year. And we were part of this illustration fair with the Ho Chi Minh University in Vietnam and Guangzhou University in China. So basically, we packaged it together as a game art and illustration work from the world. So we packaged it that way, and that would be kind of like the titles of this upcoming exhibition. And there's potentially there's some other exhibitions and collaboration with those universities that participated in this illustration fair. And next slide, please. And myself, I was invited as one of keynote speaker to this Gwangju ACE Fair. ACE stands for Asia Content and Entertainment Fair in Gwangju. And I talked about a collaboration fostered by OTT platforms and content industry and the best practices in US. So I talked about that. And because of my position, I've been asked to speak at various venues. And one recent one I did, I was invited to this company called New Secure Incorporated, and I talked to their HR department about the virtual game, actually. So I believe the head of that HR department is actually board member of Mason Arch at Mason. So we do have separate boards for the College of Visual and Performing Arts. And Stephen Glosh, he asked me to speak to his employee. So I appeared on their virtual lunch series, and I talk about game, and it went really well. And it was interesting. There are HR people, but now everyone's really interested in playing game or utilizing game in different purposes. So it was really nice meeting those people who are interested in what we are doing. And then I will continue to promote our program and the game that way. And for the Mason Korea, if you don't know, we do have our George Mason University has a campus in Incheon, Korea. as part of our global campus, and we call it Mason Korea. And Mason Korea offers BFA in computer game design program. So we do have one full-time faculty member who actually used to work here, and we sent Jared Brun, who used to teach here and who also taught at MGTA. So we sent him, and then he's doing great job. And obviously, enrollment got better, and then we admitted more students. So we hire a new faculty who will teach 3D modeling and animation. So we hired Steve. So we hired John McGrew, so who currently teaches at Arkansas Tech University as an assistant professor of art, and he specialized 3D modeling and animation, and he will teach our 3D modeling courses along with some stop motion classes. Okay, that would be it. If you have any question, feel free to ask me or email me. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Sang. So now we're going to talk a little bit about the VSGI and where we are and what's going on. So the first thing up, if you didn't get a chance to see him, or even if you did, we had a speaker series this fall. It was the inaugural round. It was a great success. We did talks on a variety of topics: serious games, AI, gaming in general, even running your own game studio, and they were all received very well. Best part was we taped them all. So the recordings are available on our website, and so you can watch them at your own leisure, promote them to other people, get people out there to kind of get into the topics. And we want to do more of these, and we've already started planning the spring semester. But if you have ideas for speakers or topics, or know somebody who might be of interest to not only the game design and serious games folks, but kind of the public in general, because we want to share these technologies and gaming to as many people as we can. So anybody within your network that might be of interest, please let us know. We're setting up spring and summer right now, so keep us in mind if you think of anything. I'm going to go over really quickly for those on here where our resident companies are at. We have the Historical Movement Archive and Studio. They are ending their residency at the end of the year, but they've been doing some phenomenal work as they've been kind of getting together a lot of their materials and kind of putting stuff together to look at additional funding. So Brad's going to actually be doing a presentation of what they've been working on over this last semester that's kind of really taken everything they've done so far and put it together in a package that they can show off. Citadel Studios, their flagship product, Legends of Aria, is still doing well. They're still supporting it, but they announced their new project. It's called The End. It's an online multiplayer survival game. So it's got kind of similar veins to, if you want to think about Fortnite or some of these other games where people are basically trying to outlast each other. It has that, but it's based around Vikings and building up your own areas and battling to be the best. That's currently being developed right now, but they're fast tracking and then looking for investors as well. Sky Farm Company, which is doing Duncan's Flying Tugboat, actually just announced a partnership that got a lot of press with writer Scott Albert, who's actually done work for Paw Patrol and Top Wing, which are pretty popular kids programs. And they're going to be working together to take that property and create a 3D animated show, as well as toys and all the associated properties. So that's really good news for them. Fly Guy Interactive has been working with communities and schools now for over 2 years, roughly. And so their second phase is ending actually this week. And they're going to have a playable game in the browser, so it'll be easier for kids to be able to get to it. And they're going to actually start testing it in the new year. So we're really looking forward to that. Namiyars continue to work on the USAID project. They're supporting their recent entertainment game, and I know they're hiring for new projects right now. And then Empower Our Youth is going to be working on their kids matching social network in the new year once COVID's kind of settled down, and we'll get people back in here. So if you have any questions or want to find out more about any of the resident companies and what they're doing, just ping me and we'll get you in touch and get you the right information. Stephanie is going to give us a quick update on where we are with research, another one of our tenets of the VSGI. So Stephanie, take it over.
Hi. I believe that we did an update the last meeting that stated that we were finished with FEMA and the Office of the Flood Insurance Advocate. And so we've been moving on and applying for some new grants. So first was the AWS Imagine grant with Amazon Web Services. We actually had just heard about that yesterday, and unfortunately we didn't get it, but it's important that we tried. And I think that it's important that we continue to put the effort out there. Also in progress is the NSF Advancing Informal STEM Learning with Jacob. Jacob is heading that one, using games to promote the learning of mathematics among English language learners, which is really awesome. We're going to be using, he's going to be using games to, math games to help English language learners informally learn STEM and promote that. And then we have the Digital Humanities Advancement Grant. We're working with Citadel Studios on that for a historical virtual reality education experience, which is something that's super cool to hopefully get them into more of the research and academia sphere. And then we're also working with Innova on the Commonwealth Health Research Board grant for developing a mixed reality simulation platform to enhance the training of trauma with medical staff. And so that's pretty cool. It's something that we've been working on for a little while with them, trying to get a partnership. And so if anybody has any research opportunities or a request for a proposal, we're always looking to help and work with other people on that. Just contact me and we can start maybe setting some meetings up and figuring out what we can do.
Awesome. And the nice thing about, even though we didn't get the AWS Imagine grant, is we were looking at how do you teach quantum computing, for example, and how do we use quantum computing for improving games. And the nice thing is it actually expanded our network of folks. And I know Jacob's on a consortium of people with quantum computing now, and it actually provides a lot of additional opportunities potentially in the future. So if you have other ideas or opportunities or folks that are looking for people with our skills or likewise, definitely send them Stephanie's way. Next up, we're going to talk a little bit about the PhD program. Stephanie, you want to kind of give us an update on where we are and what's been going on over the semester?
Yeah, sure. So just a quick kind of background. We have a cross-disciplinary team from various colleges around Mason joining together to create a PhD program for serious games. And right now, I believe we are finalizing syllabi for our course listing and working on getting letters of recommendation for Chev. We're a little bit, unfortunately, behind. We wanted to submit, I believe, in this month, but it looks like we'll probably be aiming early spring to submit to Chev. But everything's moving along fine, and there haven't been any hiccups, and we've been making really great progress every week on that. So we're very excited, and I hope soon we'll be able to submit it.
Yep, excellent. And then one last thing, we've been trying to really push our folks internally to post more on Facebook and Twitter. So do follow us. We'll send out links and they're always in our emails as well. But with this big social distancing, we're trying to make sure that people keep informed, and we're pushing out information. And it may not be directly VSGI related, but it's tech and game related. So it'll keep it hopefully interesting to folks that are on it. Now we're going to move over to Mason Game and Technology Academy. Vera, do you want to give a quick update on like how the fall academy is going and where things are going for you guys?
Sure. Yeah, so the fall's been going well. We've had about 120 students that we have gotten through Prince William County, the ACSE grant. We are very, very happy to have that. That was kind of our lifeline because as you all know, the summer was much smaller than usual. So it's going well. We've had 4 of our core courses that are specifically designed for virtual delivery. And in addition to the ACSE grant, we've also received a grant from Micron, which we'll primarily use for on-site classes this summer. For summer, we're planning a three-pronged approach. We really, really hope, fingers crossed, that we'll be able to do an on-site program. We're going to do our virtual academy again, live synchronous courses. And then we're going to try something different with our partner Envision, and that is the leasing of our courses asynchronously. So we're currently working out the details for that and how we're going to administrate that and the timing on that. So hopefully back to business full force and then some this summer. That's about it for us now.
Awesome. Okay, and so that kind of brings us to where we're going to do a little bit of everything. The first thing we're going to do, though, before we kind of open it up to see if anybody has anything to add or any news that we might have forgotten, is we want to take a few minutes to allow Brad to show off what they've been doing. So I'm going to go ahead and stop presenting because I know he has information and stuff that he wants to share. So Brad, I'm going to turn the floor over to you. Give us the lowdown of what you guys have been doing at Historical Movement Archive and walk us through your next steps, all that wonderful stuff. So it's all you, man. Go ahead.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay. What we've been doing is putting together all of our documentation on proof of process. And we've created a link for a proof of, concept movie here. And on the interactive PDF that Risa will be sharing with you, it has links to different movies. And this movie, of course, is the proof of concept movie, which fully illustrates why we want to, try to do this research program, basically. And then here on the PDF on page 7, it goes into comments on the Historical Movement Archive, the research program library and archive, and explains what those would be. On this part of the interactive PDF, it talks about the Historical Movement Archive studio and a motion capture studio and a research and performance facility that would come into being. Here, the next 2 pages on the interactive PDF talk about research applications being created, and the Historical Movement Archive would collaborate with different parts of the university, the College of Visual and Performing Arts, the College of Health and Human Services, the College of Humanities and Social Sciences, along with the Department of Modern and Classical Languages, and of course the Department of History and Art History, and the Roy Rosenwig Center for History and New Media, University Library System, and of course the Vogue School of Engineering, and where we hope to find a home in the Institute for Digital Innovation as a research program at George Mason University that would involve, of course, the Folger Shakespeare Library and what we're trying to create, the Historical Movement Archive. And so this really talks about that kind of relationship and how it would work at the university. One important thing is the research and development will be focused into 5 main areas: motion capture technologies that will be needed to accurately record the intricate details of historical and cultural movement, research tools and historical cultural movement that can be easily downloaded and incorporated into research applications, advanced digital presentation and archiving technologies to preserve 3D historical and cultural movement knowledge, analytical tools that will assist in research exploring kinesthetic anthropology and the study of kinesthetic relativity. And last but not least, live broadcast and emerging augmented and virtual reality technologies to teach, research, and perform online in 3D. The following 3D presentation materials will serve as an example of what the Historical Movement Archive is able to create and do. This is our proof of process and methodology, from the cradle to the grave, from the treatise to the library and archive. The first thing I'd like to share is we've put together effective pipelines for the development of historical and image-based avatars and the processing of motion capture data. We have designed and are developing historical movement-based avatars. We developed this and implemented this historical image-based avatar with the motion capture that we created in 2013 through 2020. And if you, on the interactive PDF, click on this, it really takes you to a movie. This movie doesn't have vocals yet, but we will have them soon, by at least the end of December. The next part here is we have designed a complete data pipeline for the motion capture and processing of historical and cultural movement motion capture data. We have developed an effective workflow for cleaning up 3D movement sequences, skinning, rigging, implementing the movement into a studio avatar, and placing the 3D movement sequences into the HoloLens, Vive, and Oculus Rift headset, as well as iPads, iPhones, Android phones, and tablets, and our in-development website using the Historical Movement Archive 3D viewer, which we developed. So this, if you click here, it takes you to our website, and this is an example of Panathenaic dance from the 4th century, as well as these movement forms were part of the ancient Chinese orchestrography found on bowls thousands of years ago, and of course in Eastern and Western martial arts of the 16th and 9th century. So you click here and it takes us to the web page for our and this is the avatar we created, and of course you push on that and it has a nice little dealy thing. But here's our window that we created, and this is very important because if we're going to study movement, we have to be able to look at everything in its own world. And of course down here we can go to the structure sequence, which is the structure that I was just talking about, and it's starting to get there. It really is, to be able to create an avatar and then put historical movement into it, and then be able to look at it from any direction, which will be very important to movement artists and researchers to share this kind of information on historical movement and actually see it in 3 dimensions. And then once the technologies arrive where we can actually use these applications right in the Vive or augmented and virtual reality headsets, then we really have something that we'll be able to play with. So you can put on your goggles and whatnot and see these things life-size. Anyway, as you go through this interactive PDF, it shows what I've done with merging 3D technologies, and I've developed a process and methodology to integrate the historical record in text and images with archaeological excavation evidence to recreate in digital form this 16th century playhouse called the Hope Bear Gardens. So part of my research over the last 30 years is into 16th century playhouses, and this is the Hope Bear Gardens playhouse, which we were very proud of. And there's a little movie without words there, but we take things like part of these images from the 16th century and then using a process of going back and forth with a 3D model, we finally get to something that is very, very similar to the original architecture. And it's really difficult to do at first, but I think we've developed a really good process. And so we then use our viewer, and you can take a look at any kind of architecture or historical movement using the viewer. Then as we go on, this is a walkthrough of the digital performance space that we've created. These emerging technologies that we are working on will soon give us the ability to take any class or performance into anyone's home or office to be viewed in 3 dimensions. So this is a step to creating that 3D environment. And of course here we have the viewer on our 3D playhouse. And it's really kind of fun because we're now able to go into the playhouse and actually get around here, and you can open this up for yourself and take a look at the 16th century iteration of a playhouse that existed in the 16th century in Shakespeare's time, and they would have bear baiting and different things there. So at your leisure, you can look at a lot of these technologies and research projects that we've been doing. The last but not least, and I'm almost done, the research into 16th century footwork system. This is my research. There's a little movie on that. But and this is an ancient rubric, this 8-pointed star, and it goes way back in one of the first ways that you can accurately actually, in a way, calculate movement and distances because the movement systems were far more sophisticated back then than they are now. So we, thanks to Ben and our wonderful team at the VSGI, we've been able to actually take a lot of the work that we've done on a game and actually put the 16th century rubric and footwork system, or at least we're starting to, into the game, so you can see how the rubric actually works, in the game itself, and going from distances out of distance to into the mortal distance, and perhaps, let's see, then we can have it come into grappling distance, and then of course the grapple happens, and then the person is thrown out. Now, we don't have the motion capture technologies to accurately put it, but the difficult thing has been, I'm sorry, I've had my sound off for some reason. Are you guys still with me?
Yeah, we're fine.
Still with me?
Just keep going. Yep, keep going.
Okay. Anyway, we're starting to actually put a whole 16th century footwork system into the game environment. And this will be eventually evolve into a good research tool where you can actually test out and do 16th century dance or 16th century or 17th century, any kind of movement, historical movement form, and place it in the game environment and have it accessible through a kind of a game-like function here using footwork and those kind of things. So those are some of the bells and whistles that we've been playing with. I have a summation if you'd like to hear it. We have now imagined the idea of digitally preserving historical and cultural movement knowledge in a 3-dimensional form. There's more than enough information in the form of movies and applications that will demonstrate proof of concept, as well as proof of process and methodology in the support of this new field of research and this research program. We have imagined how we can use these emerging augmented and virtual reality technologies to teach, research, and perform online in 3D. The emerging technologies will soon give us the ability to take any class, research project, or performance into anyone's computer, smartphone, or tablets, or augmented and virtual reality, technology. To be viewed in 3 dimensions as if it were right there in the classroom or sitting there witnessing a live performance. It's only a matter of time, in my belief, before these ideas will come into fruition somewhere. A character in the movie Under the Tuscan Sun describes. Yeah, have I gone over?
No, yeah. Instead of just reading all this, why don't you tell them what is the next? Like, what is your big next focus after you're finishing up, getting all this stuff ready to go? What is your next ask of people? Like, looking out for funding or partnerships. What do you need from people at this point?
I need,
now that you've got all this work that you've put into it. Like,
I have a whole package here. Let me stop sharing here for a second. I have all the presentation materials that I need to actually approach folks for funding, not only at the university to help get funding for this research program, but I'm going to need help actually assembling the program, people opening doors for me so that I can really put together this interdisciplinarity of a research program at the university. That'll be and then to try to find a home for it, where we can have motion capture technologies, to be, at our disposal, and have the capabilities of putting this research program on its feet. There's so many opportunities here for the development of technology and the advancement of research technologies and archive technologies. I just would love those doors to be open. Maybe there's a possibility of doing presentations for some of the technical leaders and in the industry, so that they can support research and the advancement of these kind of technologies. I'd love to see if we could develop the possibility of live 3D broadcast. You see, Apple's coming out with those new goggles, and that's coming out within a year or so. And Australia broke the internet speeds to be 1 million times faster than the current system. I mean, that's not too far away. Between those two technologies alone, we're going to be able to broadcast live in 3D, classes, performances, the whole shebang. I'd love to be part of that. I'll tell you that. But anyway, that's yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say we appreciate that. It's good to see where you guys have progressed and where you're going. So obviously, if folks have people that are doing similar projects or are looking, or potentially funders or partners, and obviously we'll connect them internally to the folks that they had mentioned to try to find additional partners for you. But obviously, as Brad's shown, they've made a lot of work on basically trying to polish all the stuff they've been working on so that they can now go out there and make their dream even more of a reality. So thank you, Brad. I appreciate that, and thanks for the time.
And thank you to all of you. The opportunity to have had this visiting scholar in residency has been a lifesaver. I tell you, it's been really a wonderful, wonderful journey. Thank you.
Awesome. Very cool. All right. So that kind of hits everything we wanted to go over today. Obviously, folks on the line, if you want to raise your hand or just kind of chime in, if there's any news or things that you kind of want to promote or talk about real quick, we've got a few minutes. We're actually early, which is good. Otherwise, I think we're mostly done. I mean, there's one thing I wanted to say, but anybody have anything they wanted to kind of hit? I'll just let the timer tick for a second. Not seeing anything. Not seeing anything. All right, cool. Well, obviously, one thing I'd like to say is I'd like to say a big thank you to Scott, who's on the call today, because if you hadn't seen his email, he is taking a change of role in the new year, focusing on the PhD program. He's done an amazing job with all the things he's touched so far at the university. So I know that the PhD program's in good hands. And hopefully he's left it in good hands with us here at the VSGI as we continue into the new year. And he's not going anywhere. A nice shrug, thank you. But I just want to say thank you from all of us for all of your hard work and everything we've been doing. And we're going to keep working together. But obviously, this whole thing has been your show from the beginning, and it really shows all the wonderful stuff. I mean, even all the little things we saw through today's thing really show that off, and what Brad's been able to do and what everybody's been able to do. So thank you, Scott, and to everybody else who came and showed up and got to hear where we are and what we're doing. We'll see you in the new year. Have a great, safe holiday. Be with the people you can be with. Be with the rest virtually. Stay safe and all that wonderful stuff. Unless anybody has anything else, I'll give you guys the extra time back, and we really appreciate you guys coming out. So thank you all. Appreciate it. I see a lot of waves, so I assuming that's a good one.
I think Ted Pruitt had a question.
Yeah,
Ted, did you have something?
Brad, I had a comment for you. I think what you're proposing is very exciting. I had the opportunity to travel to London and go to the Globe Theatre where they had redone it and reconstructed and actually taken a performance. And I think, studying Shakespeare in high school and actually having acted in Macbeth and then trying to learn it, I think that's a phenomenal way. I mean, I begin to grow weary of the sun and wish the state of the world. I don't do my Shakespeare acting, but I think that that is a very exciting way. There's a lot of potential for, bringing that to life. So I'd like to hear more about that, and, I'll probably reach out to you, but.
Well, I'd be glad to give you a presentation, something that is detailed, and I'd love that. It'd be great. Any of you guys would like?
Yep, and we'll send out all your materials to folks so they can look at them or pass them around too. So that's great.
Great.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Well, I appreciate it, everybody. Looking forward to seeing. I know I'll see some of you in additional meetings before the new year. But if I don't see you, have a great holiday, and see you guys soon. Peace.
Happy holidays.